Nike have said in their marketing material that they've combined the silhouette of the Jordan 6 with some of their best golf technology. But as I look at the shoe, what best golf technology really is that? For a lot of sneakerheads, the Jordan 6 can be a pretty big deal. For you non-sneakerheads, the reason being is because this silhouette is the shoe that Michael Jordan won his first NBA championships with. So there's a lot of anticipation surrounding these shoes that dropped a few weeks ago. I grabbed these at launch for £215, and I think they retailed in the US for around $240. And I've included any links down in the description below to pick these up from Nike's website. Now the Jordan 6 continues the trend of the Jordan brand releasing retro shoes in golf shoe format. So you can see here that you've got 7 cleats on the bottom of these, and I'll cover them off in a little bit more detail. I've showcased on my channel before the Jordan 5 retros, which come out probably 3 years ago now, as well as the Jordan 4s. I even got the Jordan 12s right here, and most recently the Air Jordan 1s too, both in the low and the high version. So given that these are still completely available on Nike UK, our Jordan brand starting to saturate their own market. On the recent sales on Nike's website, there was plenty of Jordan 12 retros available for grabs, both in the cherry red and the blue. And you can see from how pristine that outsole is, I've not yet used these out on the course, but I have worn them around the house so I can let you know how they fit and feel. For me, I went true to size, and that's fine, although I probably could have gone down at least half a size in these shoes. There's also just a lot of room in this shoe in general. I've got quite a narrow foot, and I'm not feeling these shoes at all. Actually feels like there's quite a lot of room above my foot and certainly above my toes in these shoes. So if you've got bigger feet or wider feet, you're not gonna have a problem with these shoes, and you're probably gonna be okay going true to size. In terms of the feel, well, they feel all right, I guess. They're not particularly soft underfoot. Let me see if I can pull out the insole. There we go, we've got it. So you look at the insole there, it's made up of three different materials in fact. You've got the outside there, and then you've got this red foam material and then a blue foam material as well. It's not hugely thick. I've seen thinner, I've seen thicker. In terms of the actual feeling underfoot though, well, it feels pretty firm. Although it looks like you've got a lot of midsole foam material there, which I've got to think is probably just a standard Phylon. Well, they're not the softest, and they're a pretty stiff shoe as well. Look, you've got that thick ice TPU on the bottom. There's not a lot of give in these, certainly out of the box, so I wouldn't really fancy walking 18 holes in these. If you're using a buggy, well, I don't think you're gonna have any problem. Of course, you have still got the rather small air unit there on the heel, but that's not making a huge amount of difference in terms of the comfort of these shoes. Generally speaking, I'd say they're pretty firm underfoot. The upper on these combines 2 different types of leather. So you can see on the toe box here and going up along the kind of lateral and medial sides on the perforated edges of the shoe, you've got this smooth leather. And then on the laces section then here, you can see zigzagging its way across, you've then got this kind of rolled, tumbled leather instead. And then that works its way along the rear of the shoe and round on the heel as well. Of course, it's based on the classic, so they're not gonna stray from that. So if you like the original design of these shoes, or you don't. You've also got this kind of bubble section on both the ankles there, on the right and on the left, and it doesn't have any real kind of effect on the inside. I assume they're there to give these shoes some kind of added stability on that ankle area, but in terms of golf shoes, well, you don't really need that, to be honest. And actually, if you push down, you can see it's not solid or anything like that, in case you were wondering. It's just domed kind of leather. You've probably noticed as well, you've got a really significant heel tab. I think it's safe to say that these are possibly, yeah, the most significant heel tab I've ever seen on a pair of golf shoes. And they're a plastic heel tab there. There's a bit of flex to them as well. But these were designed specifically at Michael Jordan's request to make them easier getting the shoe on and off without them affecting his Achilles, which he had injury problems with, I believe. Comfort around the ankle and the heel and on the tongue, just like all Jordan retros really, these are nice and comfortable. You've got some soft material padding there, feel quite plush, and again, the tongue is moderately thick. It's not the thickest Jordan tongue I've ever felt, but it feels nice and comfortable. What you will notice is that if you're using these in the UK and you're used to wearing regular running sneakers, which generally that's what we do, sorry, sneakers, trainers to us Brits here in the UK, then these are gonna feel pretty high up on your ankle and on your Achilles. So your foot's gonna take a little while to get used to these. They may even cause a little bit of blistering. I think they probably would if I walked 18 holes in these straight out of the box. I can definitely feel the bottom of my ankle just rubbing a little bit on the sides there. Again, that's not a fault of the shoe, that's just the design and the style that they are. So unfortunately, I think that's a sacrifice you're gonna be making with these shoes. If you wanna wear them and you wanna look good and you wanna have the Jordan retro style out on the golf course, well, I think you're gonna sacrifice comfort when you compare it to more modern style design shoes that cost the same amount of money. For example, the FootJoy Hyperflex Carbon right here costs, see, around £25–30 less in the UK and is a far more comfortable pair of shoes underfoot, while offering serious amounts of stability and traction as well, given the fact that it's got the carbon fibre plate and all the design features with it. Yes, they look very different, but they feel very different too. Personally, I think I'd actually take these in this case. You can see here you've got this ice plastic sole that's kind of semi-translucent. As you look on the bottom there, you can see here that you've got all these little kind of spikes and extra bits of grip and traction that are quite aggressive that you're getting on this plastic outsole, and then you've got the 7 spikes. So you're getting a really good amount of traction. A couple of other little touches, you can see that you've got the Jumpman logo on this bit of material that covers some of the laces there, and then you've also got the lace toggle on the bottom too. And on the heel of the shoe, you've got a silver Jumpman logo there stitched into the back of the leather. The blue section around the air bubble, that is actually painted, I believe, on the white midsole foam. You can see there, kind of a little bit sketchy on the finish there around the bubble, but it's been painted to match that blue outsole. One of the most common questions you get on the spiked Jordan golf shoes is, can you remove the spikes and wear these like regular sneakers? Well, yes, you can. The spikes come out, but they're not going to give you particularly good traction. So you can wear them, but you can see here, this outsole doesn't really want to bend, so they're not going to feel that great, I think, when you're out walking in them, especially when you see here you've got these quite aggressive plastic spikes on the bottom of the outsole. They're not going to give you a lot of grip out in the real world, especially if conditions start getting a little bit wet and slippery. So can you? Yes. Should you? Probably not. Not with these, at least. You can probably tell I'm not really the biggest fan of the Jordan 6 golf shoes. I've not got a problem with the look and style of the Jordan 6. I think it's really cool that it's been turned into a retro golf shoe. I just think that it's not really offering me much as a golfer as a golf shoe. Nike have said in their marketing material that they've combined the silhouette of the Jordan 6 with some of their best golf technology. But as I look at the shoe, what best golf technology really is that? Okay, they've put a TPU outsole on the shoe and they've added 7 cleats to it. That's about it. Unless there's something going on the inside that Nike are doing that they've decided to not tell us about in the marketing and just say it's their best golf technology, I'm not sure. I mean, for me, as I said earlier, I think I'd rather take the feeling, comfort and performance of a modern pair of golf shoes that are actually probably cheaper than these than rock these out on the course. I'm not that much of a die-hard fan of the Jordan 6 silhouette that I just have to wear these out on the course, especially given the fact that I walk the course. I don't use a buggy. I appreciate that you might be watching this and you absolutely love this silhouette. It will mean a lot more to you, and this is just a must-have pair of golf shoes for your rotation. In which case, great. I'm really glad that they brought it out, because that's serving a market that is clearly there. If you do want a pair of Jordan retro spiked golf shoes, but you're not committed to the Jordan 6 silhouette, then actually you might want to check out the Jordan 12 instead. These are spiked there, so you've got the same 7 spike layout, but the difference between the 12s over the 6s is that these are a lot more comfortable underfoot. They've got a full zoom pad along the bottom of these shoes, and they are much softer and comfortable to wear. Now, I appreciate that the looks aren't necessarily going to be for everyone. These are still available currently on the Nike websites, both in the UK and the US. So I've included affiliate links down in the description below for both of these shoes. And if you do want more information on the Jordan 12s, then check out my closer look video right here.